For more than 4,000 years, the Great Pyramid has carried one of history's greatest contradictions. It was built without steel, cranes, or even a compass, yet it is aligned almost perfectly to true north with an error smaller than a single degree. Millions of stones, some as heavy as modern trucks, were placed with precision that still surprises engineers today. How did an ancient civilization without modern tools achieve something so massive and so exact? Today, we explore the real science behind how humanity built the impossible. Most people see the pyramid as a mystery, but archaeologists see it as a masterpiece of planning, teamwork, and practical knowledge. Nothing here was magic or lost technology. It was built through effort, skill, and intelligent design. The builders used simple tools, smart methods, and a strong understanding of stone, sunlight, and weight. To understand how it was made, we must stop treating it like a puzzle and start seeing it as a carefully designed machine built by skilled hands. The Great Pyramid contains around 2.3 million blocks of stone, carefully arranged into a massive geometric shape. The softer limestone from nearby quarries formed most of the structure and was easy to cut and move. The smooth white limestone from Tura created a bright outer surface that once reflected sunlight across the desert. Granite blocks were transported from Aswan almost 900 kilometers away because they were strong enough to support heavy inner chambers. Workers shaped stones using copper tools and sand mixed with water, creating a simple but effective cutting method. Sand acted like tiny blades, slowly slicing into the rock as the workers scraped and pressed. This was not advanced technology. It was practical engineering using the materials they had. Moving heavy stones across the desert may seem impossible, but ancient workers understood how sand behaves. A 2014 physics study found that pulling a sled over slightly wet sand reduces friction almost by half. Ancient paintings even show workers pouring water in front of sledges, confirming this method was known. This was not a ritual, it was a practical technique that made moving stones far easier. With wet sand, a team of 20 to 40 people could pull a 2-ton block more easily than most people imagine. They did not need wheels. They needed knowledge of their environment, and they used it well. The quarries were located close to the pyramid site, reducing the distance workers had to move stones each day. With cooperation and coordination, workers could move each block steadily toward the construction area. Lifting stones to higher levels required a smart and efficient system. A giant straight ramp would have been longer than the pyramid itself and left no physical evidence behind. Instead, clues suggest a mix of methods, including a shorter ramp for the lower layers. For the upper levels, evidence points to an internal spiral ramp hidden inside the pyramid's outer walls. Modern 3D scans show straight internal patterns that match the possible path of this hidden ramp. The solution was not one huge ramp, but a combination of smaller, efficient ramps that made lifting possible. These layered ramps allowed workers to push stones upward gradually as the pyramid rose. One of the most impressive features of the pyramid is how level its base is. Over a distance of more than 230 meters, the difference in height is only a few centimeters. The builders achieved this incredible precision using water. They dug shallow channels, filled them with water, and trimmed the ground until the waterline was evenly level. Because water always finds its own level, this simple method created one of the flattest foundations in ancient architecture. The pyramid's alignment to true north is incredibly accurate. Without a compass, the builders used the sky as their guide. By placing a vertical stick in the ground and marking the shadow at different times of day, they tracked the sun's movement. Marking the shadow's path gave them a precise north-south line. This method required patience and repeated observation, not complex tools. Their precise alignment shows how closely they studied the natural world around them. Inside the pyramid, the builders created layers of massive granite beams above the main chamber. These beams redirected the enormous weight of the stones above the chamber. The relief chambers prevented the central room from collapsing under pressure. This design was not accidental. It was intentionally engineered to protect the structure. It shows a deep understanding of how weight moves through stone. The narrow corridors and passages were laid out with purpose and careful planning. A cross-section reveals a network of chambers that support the overall architecture. Modern technology continues to reveal hidden details about the pyramid. Thermal scans show temperature differences that hint at unseen spaces behind the walls. Muon scanning, a technique using cosmic particles, discovered a large, empty void above the Grand Gallery. Its purpose remains unknown, but its presence proves there is still more to learn. Yet all evidence supports one clear conclusion. The pyramid was built by human skill, planning, and persistence, not lost civilizations or unexplainable technology. So how did the ancient Egyptians build the Great Pyramid? They used ramps that worked with gravity and simple tools shaped by experience. They shaped stones with sand and patience, guided by knowledge passed down through generations. They aligned their monument using sunlight and the night sky, proving their deep connection with nature. Everything they achieved came from careful observation, cooperation, and determination. It was not easy, but it was human effort at its strongest. As the sun sets behind the Great Pyramid, we are reminded that it is a human achievement, not an unsolved mystery. Its scale and precision show what people can accomplish with knowledge and organization. The more we uncover about how it was built, the less magical it becomes, and the more extraordinary it truly is.